Rockford's home for Classic Rock 96.7 The Eagle. Good morning, it's Double T. Joining me this morning is Frank Hannon from Tesla. Frank, how you doing today?
I am fantastic, man. I think I'm a little warmer here in California than you guys are out there, but I'm looking forward to getting out there and rocking and rolling here real soon.
You're coming December 14th to the Arcata Theater in St. Charles.
That venue in particular, I mean, both Tesla and myself have played there a few times, and I love old theaters. You know, when I was first starting out in my career, we were traveling around. I used to have a dream of having a theater like that for a club and having my friends and bands playing there. And but being on the road, changed all that. And my other dream of being on the road and being a successful musician has come true. So I feel very grateful for that. We're celebrating over 30 years now. I can't believe it.
I think about the first time I saw you guys, 87 at the Vic in Chicago.
The Vic, another great theater. Yeah. That area has always been good for Tesla. We paid our dues in that area. And me as a solo artist, doing Frank Hannon Band or Moondog Maine, I've been through there a few times, and the people and the fans there are really supportive. Which is why I'm coming back. I mean, why else would I come back in the middle of the winter?
You brought up something that I wanted to talk to you about, Moondog Maine. What's the status? It's been a while since you did it, but I love that album. It's one of my favorites.
Mine too, bro, and I appreciate you saying that. I mean, I was able to capture lightning in a bottle on that album. The lead singer of the band was a guy that I had just met, and we got together, and we had like this really passionate, quick weekend of writing songs. But just like any passionate, quick weekend when you don't know somebody, it's bound to fall apart. And, there's the egos and the attitude problems within the band. Just it fell apart. It was impossible to work with. But the songs and the album were a lot of fun to make, and it was done very spontaneously, and I'm very proud of the record, actually.
Any chance of Turn It Up being played at the Arcata on the 14th?
Man, you know what? You just reminded me of Turn It Up, and it's not a very difficult song. So I think when my band gets together on Sunday, I'm going to run it by them, and there's a good chance I may do it because it was a hit in your area of the country back in 1995. Yeah, turn it up. Yeah, might do it.
And I remember you did a show here in Rockford outdoors with Def Leppard.
Def Leppard has always been good to me and to Tesla, and the guys in the band have always been brothers to us. And we're doing more dates. Tesla's going to be doing some more dates with them this year.
The relationship that you guys have, that's special. You did the Hysteria tour in the round. Phil Collin, he worked with you on the new Tesla album, right?
Absolutely. He did a lot of the writing and inspiring for this new Tesla album that's coming out in March of next year. It's called Shock. And, his work ethic inspired me as well for my latest album, From One Place to Another, to be able to record on the road and record in the dressing room, the hotel rooms, whatever you put your mind to, you can do it. And Tesla used to always have the mindset that we couldn't really do any writing on the road. Well, Phil Collin proved that wrong, and he did a lot of writing with us and a lot of recording and producing for this new record on the road.
I'm talking to Frank Hannon from Tesla. He's got a solo show coming up December 14th at the Arcata Theater in St. Charles. You brought up From One Place to Another, Volume 2, your latest album, which is an album of covers. How much fun was that to sit down and pick out some of your favorite songs to play?
Hey, man, it was really a challenge, and because more so than playing, it was about singing. And people know me as the lead guitarist of Tesla, but I'm a singer and a lead singer, and so I wanted to get better at it. So I was trying all these different songs, and on the record, I went from trying some of my favorite songs, like by obscure artists or people that you wouldn't expect. Like I did a song by Seal called "Kiss from a Rose," and I also did a Blackberry Smoke song. A Black Sabbath song. I mean, I'm all over the map on it, and it was a lot of fun. It was like a giant jigsaw puzzle of ideas that I had to organize and put together. And I had a lot of fun with it. And one of them, especially, is the song Hush, which I made a video with my buddy Randy Hansen, who's a Jimi Hendrix guitarist, tribute artist. And that's my latest single, is Hush.
You listened to Hush, you added your own twist, rocked it up a little bit more, and it's just a fabulous version of the song.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. And I think what you're hearing is the fact that it's based around electric guitar more than the organ, which is the original version, has a lot of organ sound in it. Whereas with me and Randy Hansen, my guest guitarist on the album, we approached it more like how Jimi Hendrix would have did it.
I'm talking to Frank Hannon from Tesla. He's got a solo show December 14th at the Arcata Theater in St. Charles. This is Volume 2, so you did a Volume 1. Was it easier to pick out the songs the second time, or was it harder?
It was a little harder the second time because I didn't want to repeat the same thing I did on Volume 1, which was more of an acoustic, kind of southern rock, folky style, older songs. I wanted it to be a little edgier. So the boys and I in my band that are going to be there next week, we went live into the studio. We tracked Hush. We did Lord of the Flies by Aerosmith. And we did a couple other ones that didn't make it on the album, but live in the studio. So it was more of the approach of jamming live and capturing that kind of rock and roll live feel without being perfect. And so in that aspect, it was actually easier. But, test driving the songs was a little bit more difficult.
Who do you have in your band with you?
I have my drummer, Kelly Smith, who's also my videographer, and he and I have made a ton of rock and roll videos you can see on my YouTube channel. There's a song called New York City Psycho Cab Ride that he and I did right in the middle of Manhattan on Times Square in the middle of the night. We did a song called Electric Chair. Now, these are original songs I'm talking about now that Kelly Smith and I put together. And Billy Rainey's my second guitarist, and Nick Nichols is a bass player here that plays locally that I've known for years. And these guys are great friends of mine. We've been playing together for years around here in California. And, they don't get to travel much. So I really wanted to bring them out here on this road trip here to St. Charles and Wisconsin. I'm doing a date in Wisconsin as well.
I'm talking to Frank Hannon from Tesla. His solo show's December 14th at the Arcata Theater in St. Charles. I know the music business has changed so much. Does it give you a little bit more freedom now to be able to do these other projects where you didn't really have the ability to do it back in the day?
I've always had the ability to do fun gigs on the side and do my Jimi Hendrix tributes and side things, but the change in the music business and the industry with technology and everything being downloaded is a double-edged sword. On one hand, we struggle to earn a living by selling CDs, but on the other hand, I can make my own CD and put it out there, and it's an equal playing field because everyone will hear it equally, on the internet or whatever. So, it's a double-edged sword, man. It's like, on one hand, it makes it harder for musicians to earn a living, but on the other hand, it makes it easier for them to be creative and get themselves out there. So, that's how I kind of view it. But playing live is something that people still love to go out and hear a great rock and roll band live. There's nothing that can replace that. And so, I pride myself in being a live performer on stage, first and foremost.
What was the thing that got you hooked on music? Was there a band, a song, a moment? You were like, that's what I need to do for my life.
Well, it's funny you say that right after what I was just talking about. The live experience, man, playing live. And honestly, when I was a kid in the 70s, live albums were the deal, man. Frampton Comes Alive, Aerosmith live bootleg, Ted Nugent dub live Gonzo, even Kiss had a live album, Foghat Live. It was all about live albums. And when I was a kid, I'd listen to those live albums and I'd hear the audience and the guitar and the rock and roll. And my mom took me to see a movie called the Monterey Pop Festival, which was a rock concert filmed in Woodstock Live. That movie was out. So it was the whole concert vibe that really made me go, oh, gosh, I want to do that. And then when I played in front of my 6th grade talent show I was hooked.
What song did you play for your talent show?
Oh, my cousin and I had a band called the Cruisin' Cousins, and we played Down on the Corner by Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Oh, man, tell me somebody recorded that.
I think my grandpa recorded it actually on a cassette, but we haven't been able to find it.
Oh, but, man.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that on a Frank Hannon box set in the future. That would be cool.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. We could find the cassette. But, yeah, I love Creedence Clearwater. I love the San Francisco sound of the 60s and 70s. The Monterey Pop Festival movie with Jimi Hendrix and Janis Joplin and in it, Otis Redding. That was a huge deal out here on the West Coast in the 60s, and as a kid, man, that was really what I loved.
I saw a T-shirt on your Facebook page, the Heavy Metal Hippie.
Well, that was a fun slogan that we came up with. When I say we, I'm talking about my multiple personalities that are in my head. You know, I love the Grateful Dead, but I also love Judas Priest and Iron Maiden. So, you know, when it comes to music, even if you listen to Tesla, we've got some metal songs like Modern Day Cowboy, but we also have some acoustic vibey things, you know, like Signs or Little Susie or Love Song, What You Give. So, and that's all because my musical tastes are so diverse, and I like so many different styles and things, you know. But I was influenced by metal as well, you know, Judas Priest. And so there's a lyric in one of my songs, it's Judas Priest and the Grateful Dead, their songs echo in my head. And it's a song called Heavy Metal Hippie, and that's kind of where I'm at, man. I'm a very confused individual.
My friends make fun of me all the time because I'll go to Dead shows and then I'll go see Metallica. That's what I like.
Man, yeah, exactly. Any artist that puts their heart and soul into it, man, you know, I'm all about it. I like funk music, some reggae. I like all kinds of music if you can feel that the artist is putting a lot into it.
You're a big fan of music besides being a musician.
Oh, absolutely, man. Music has been a lifesaver for me. It just feels good. It's an escape. It's the best antidepressant that's out there.
You got the show coming up, Arcata Theater in St. Charles on December 14th. The latest album, From One Place to Another, Volume 2. Hush is the latest song, which the video is really cool, too. And then Tesla's going to be out in 2019. You're doing some dates. The new album's coming up, you said, in March, right?
Yes, Tesla will be out in February, the whole month of February, and I believe we'll be coming through your neck of the woods there. So please, if you're listening to this, go check out TeslaTheBand.com and get the details for that.
Where can people find you on the internet and social media and stuff?
They can just find me on Instagram and Facebook and all that. It's Frank Hannon, Hannon.
Thank you so much for taking the time today, Frank. Always a great pleasure talking to you. I'm looking forward to that show on the 14th. That's going to rock.
I am too. You know, and if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Jack Russell's Great White is going to be playing, and they're doing a special Led Zeppelin set. And our band is opening the show, and, man, I'm really looking forward to coming there on the 14th as well. And, again, it's a pleasure talking to you, too, man. Thank you.
Yeah, you're right about Jack Russell. He is doing the Zeppelin set that night. It's going to be a special evening at the Arcata.
It's going to be a great night here. It's coming up real soon, everybody. So get your tickets now, and we'll see you there on the 14th.
Frank Hannon from Tesla. Come out and see him doing a solo show. It's Rockford's Home for Classic Rock, 96.7 The Eagle.